This system has definitely seen some better days. Plus, it's got a blinking red light. Let's fix it. Okay, so what we're going to do first is take out the first 6 screws on the back. Take a Phillips screwdriver, make sure it's the right size, that will lock onto the screw, and let's get going. Okay, once you get all those 6 screws get going, you turn it around. All these screws are going to fall out, so make sure you don't lose them. Once you have the screws to the side, you got to lift open, and yes. So you see the heat shield, and there's more screws. Here, here, there, and there usually is one there, and another one there, but I guess this might have been open already. Okay, now that we got that off, the cover off, let's take the heat shield off. Now that we got the screws off, let's take the heat shield off. There you go. Now, you see there are 6 more screws you have to take out. The only difference is this screw and this screw are the only different screws in this entire thing, so it makes it very easy. The only thing you have to remember is put them back here. And you'll see what I mean when I get it, when you see them. Start taking them off. As I said, this is the only different screw in the entire system. This is the only place that the screw is different because it is a lot longer than the other screws. Like, for reference, yeah. And that makes this very simple since you really don't have to memorize anything really except those 2. Also, there are 2 here, but as I mentioned, someone opened this before, you would take these out as well because that's how you're going to get the 72 pin connector out. That's how you will do it. That is going to be for reference if people have this have these screws on their console. So just do exactly what I'm doing and you'll be fine. Once you get all the screws out, the 3 on this side, 3 on this side, as I said before, make sure you take these 2 out because that's how you get out the 72 pin connector. You lift it up and you take it out. Very simple. Just toss it off to the side. Very simple. Okay, so for this is going to use a little bit of force. Just pull it out. There you go. Okay, now that we got the 72 pin connector out, we are going to raise each pin up here. This is where the cartridge goes. So basically what is happening to our system here is that the pins are all bent down. It is not making that good of a connection with the pins on a cartridge. So we are going to raise them up. As you can see, How are we going to do that? Well, we are going to use a threading pin. This is the easiest way to do it. It's the only way I know how to do it. So this is what we're going to use. I really wanted to get a better visual, so this is how you do it. You put it through the end there, edge there on the pin, and then you raise it up. Be very careful how you do this, because if you push it too hard up, you could possibly break it, and then, well, you can't fix it. So now you got to do this to every single pin. It's a little time consuming, but it's well worth it because it's one of the easiest ways to fix your Nintendo, and it will also last years to come. Now we have everything raised, let's put it back in the system. Take the pins, lift this up, put it back in, and readjust to put it back on. To actually, you're going to take this, you're going to put this back in here. It'd be better if you do that. It'd be easier to get it back into place, because you're going to put, yeah, so just get it back into place. Plus, there's the cartridge slot, whatever, and put it back this way. Now you put the screws back, and we'll keep moving. As I mentioned before, the only screws that are different are these to here and here. I gotta remember. Now when I get back to this part, I actually test it here in this form, just so I don't put it all back together and it doesn't work and I have to take it all apart again. Now let's see if it works. Okay, got the Nintendo hooked up. I got a game called McKids. Gotta put in the Nintendo. If you've seen something like this before, people usually, you could feel that the pins are tighter. People usually leave it up like this because sometimes it doesn't work when it's down. So if you see it like this, it works when it's up. Push it down, works when it's down. Now I'll be honest with you, I did adjust the pins a little bit more. If you saw in the video, it's a little bent to the side on some of them, so that could be a little bit of a problem, but this still should work regardless. Like I said, be gentle with it, and it still should work the same. If it only works when it's up, you do this method. Don't go really insanely hard, but I have noticed it bends the pins down, and it works while you have it down. Mind you, it worked before. As I said, I adjusted it before, but here we go. And it works when it's up if you wanted to have it up. Now time to put it back together. Put the heat shield back on. Now, you can do these two first if you guys have them. That would be better. Now, put the screws back on the heat shield. Put the top on. Turn it over. And put the 6 screws back in. Don't go overly tight. There's no need for that. Mind you, these are 35-year-old plastics. So when it gets snug, stop. Alright, let's plug it back in and see if we get the same results. Alright, plug it back in. Same game, my kids. Let's see what we got. And there you go. It is fixed. Bada bing, bada boom. Now relive your old Nintendo memories.